Hi, I can't commit to what movie I want to review. I keep going back and forth. I don't know if I want to do like my favorites of all time, something I didn't like, something I saw recently, something lesser known, something well known that I might have a different opinion on. So I can't decide what I want to review. So in the meantime, I'm gonna drop my recents, and that this is a thing on Twitter. There's a lot of people that have the Letterboxd app, which is an app. It's a little community for reviewing movies and writing about movies, and you put your little star reviews, which I used to love to do on Netflix, but those are gone. Thanks, Amy Schumer. But anyway, a lot of people on Twitter drop their recents. It's kind of set up like MySpace. You've got your top four favorite movies, and then under that is your top four most recently watched movies. So I'm thinking about doing this about every week, maybe every couple weeks, and just drop my recent movies that I've watched, because these will be fresh. This isn't me trying to review my favorite movie or a movie I really like that I haven't seen in 10 years, I haven't seen in 5 years. So without further ado, here are my recents. Number one or number four, I don't know, this is the fourth least recent movie that I've seen recently, and that would be Waves from 2019. This is Trey Edward Schultz's new movie. I was highly anticipating this. This and Uncut Gems were probably my two biggest anticipated movies of last year. Also Midsommar. Yeah, I'm a A24 stan. I don't care. But anyway, Trey Edward Schultz is one of my, if not my favorite filmmaker currently making movies. His movie Krisha is incredible. It's, I think, my favorite, or I know it's my favorite of the 2010s. I think it's the best movie of the 2010s. Just the way his camera moves from being an intern with Terrence Malick, and the way his camera moves, the way he captures emotion, the way he commands emotion, and just does a lot with very little, especially in Krisha. That movie was made with no budget. His family members were in the movie, and it's filmed at his mom's house, and it blows you away. Anyway, we're not talking about Krisha. We're talking about Waves. This is the second time I saw it. I saw it a couple weeks ago on a bootlegged copy, but it's important that I watch the official version. I watched it on a Blu-ray this time because it makes a difference. There are aspect ratio changes in Waves that weren't done justice on this bad screener that I had a copy of. Anyway, that's all technical crap. This movie is amazing. It is an emotional gut punch. I think it says that in the trailer. All his movies are, except for It Comes at Night. That movie is just not good. But Waves is an emotional gut punch. It blew me away both times I watched it. All the performances are great. Sterling K. Brown is great. The kid that plays Tyler, I don't know his name, is very good. And both of the female characters, the mom and the sister, have great performances too. Much more subdued, much more inner. This movie, the first time you watch it, it's all about Tyler. You're paying attention to Tyler, and you don't really catch some of the intricacies of the other performances. So when you see it again, some of the other stuff comes into light, and it just blew me away. I can't say enough good things about this movie. Go see it. The way Trey Edward Schultz uses music is incredible. I haven't seen a filmmaker use music this way since Baby Driver, where some of it's taking place in the scene, some of it's not, but it all kind of flows, and it's a good mix of music, and like you want to listen to the soundtrack as soon as you're done watching the movie. There are a couple shots that aren't great. There are a couple amateurish shots. There's one shot where a car door slams and it's from the perspective of the door. That's almost kind of cringe. And there was an N-word that I felt very unnecessary in this movie. It didn't need to be there. That being said, these are very small gripes. Go see this movie. I don't want to talk too much about the plot because, much like Parasite in my last video, this is a great movie to go into completely cold. It will blow you away. I gave it 5 stars. The next most recent movie, third least, I don't know. Number 3 is Come to Daddy. This is the new Elijah Wood horror movie. I don't know what this was. This I did not like. It started off kind of funny, So anyway, the premise is Elijah Wood's character gets a letter from his dad. He goes to visit his dad, who he's either never met or he doesn't know very well. Anyway, it's convoluted. There's mystery and intrigue, but anyway, long story short, the movie starts funny and it starts where you don't know if it's going to be a horror movie. You don't really know what's going to happen. Anyway, it gets way too complex, but there's nothing there. It kind of reminds me of some of the intricacies in The Big Lebowski, or more recently Under the Silver Lake, except there's nothing to it. There's nothing to uncover. Senseless violence. I don't mind violence, but there's completely senseless violence in this movie that I found gross. So Elijah Wood was good. There were like genuine laughs at the beginning of the movie, but I did not like this one. This is going to be a 1 star from me. Okay, the next most recent movie I've seen was, is this grammar work at all? The most least next movie I seen was Honey Boy. This is the recent Shia LaBeouf movie. I like this a lot more than I thought I would, and again, I have a soft spot in my heart for addicts. I have a soft spot in my heart for drug and alcohol abuse and addiction, hence me loving Krisha. So that played a factor. But this movie, it was what I expected it to be, but it wasn't what I expected it to be. Shia LaBeouf's performance as his loosely based on his dad was great. It was the best I've seen him in a long time. I haven't seen a lot with him in it. I saw him in the Nymphomaniac 2, Part 2. I don't even remember if he was good in that. I don't know a lot about Shia LaBeouf. But I did like this movie. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. And I gave it 3.5 stars. I recommend it. It's new. It's newly streaming on Amazon Prime, so go see it. So the most recent movie I watched was Dog Days by Ulrich Seidel. This movie came out in 2001. You're basically following a couple interconnected, loosely connected characters as they go through a heat wave in Vienna, I don't know. Austria. It's an Austrian filmmaker. This kind of reminded me if like Michael Haneke did Gomo, or if Michael Haneke redid Code Unknown, but it wasn't like all political and whatever. That movie has stuff going on that I don't understand. But basically, it's little slices of life, except every character, no one's aesthetically pleasing. Everyone's very ugly. Everybody's very cruel. Nobody is kind to each other. There's one woman that basically all she does is joyride in other people's cars, and she has something mentally going on. I don't want to speculate, but she was also in the Paradise Trilogy by Seidel. She was in the religious one, Paradise Faith. But she's one of the most annoying characters I've ever seen in my life. She rides in people's cars and like kind of roasts them, and that's the high point of this movie. Other than that, there's just a lot of physical abuse, a lot of verbal abuse, and I mean, I don't mind. I don't shy away from these things. I like movies that have those things, but it's all like kind of for nothing. This is a very nihilistic movie. At the end of the day, we don't get anywhere. Nothing's accomplished. There is a scene where, the spoiler alert, the heat wave ends, and there is kind of rainstorm that you feel washes away some of the grossness of everything that's been going on, but it doesn't. It just goes immediately back into the cruelness and just unlikable characters, ugly characters, physically ugly characters, and there's explicit, like, I don't know how they got away with some of the sex scenes in this movie. The other Seidel movies I've seen I've just seen the Paradise Trilogy, so I kind of knew what to expect. In Paradise Love, there's some explicit nudity. Not just nudity, but like, I don't know. I don't want to get demonetized. I don't know how getting demonetized works. I'm new at this. But I just don't know how they get away with some of the shots, like how they get like actresses to do this stuff. Okay, I want to see more from Seidel. Ulrich Seidel? I don't know how you say it. I want to see more from him. I liked the Paradise Trilogy. Some were better than others. Paradise Love was really good. I love the way he frames a shot. It's almost like Wes Anderson. Everything is very condensed in the frame. Everything's kind of centered. There's a good color palette. This is Paradise Love I'm talking about, not Dog Days. But I'm more interested to see some of his other stuff that I've seen previews of. I can't wait to watch Import Export. I can't wait to watch In the Basement. So those are likely to be on my recents next week. Yeah, follow me on Letterboxd. It's Ween with 3 E's, Ween. And thanks for watching.